Take yourselves back to 2001. BMW are moving away from their traditionally boxy and reserved designs, while Ford and Citroën are trying their very best to imitate the German sensibilities. One car brand, however, decides to go in a slightly different direction, perfecting the mould. This is the A4 Cabriolet S-line, and it does that job rather well. While others ditched old designs, Audi strode forward with confidence that they had it right all along. With its simple straight lines and that gorgeous metal windscreen frame that just begs to have the sun bounce off of it, it's clear the Audi Cabriolet of the 90s hasn't been forgotten. And what elevates the A4 above all other four-seat convertibles is its stunning roof. While others go wrong by chucking any shaped ragtop on and ruining the flow of their car's design, Audi spent time crafting the perfect roof to blend with the lustrous body. And that feeling of everything being right continues in the cabin. When designing the interior for the A4 Cabriolet, Audi decided that the square vents of the saloon simply wouldn't be good enough, which meant you got a redesigned top half of the dash with these three imposing round air vents. Sitting in the A4 Cabriolet, you just feel that abundance of German perfection. Every little button gives a satisfying click under the finger and feels like it's gone through years of testing before it's even been allowed to touch the production line. Being the high-spec S-line model, you get everything in here to make you feel like a 2005 millionaire. You get this gorgeous dark leather and black dashboard interior, which compounds that feeling of sport and opulence, but it's helped it age very well. Adds to that the Bose sound system, complete with 6 CD auto changer, which is something I really miss from the naughties. That ability to take 6 of your favourite CDs and load them up before a big road trip. No streaming service algorithm telling you, no, you do love the same Ed Sheeran song 10 times in a row. But all of this is a mere warm-up. The Audi really starts sinking its claws in once you get it out on the open road. For a convertible, the Audi A4 Cabriolet is surprisingly solid. The fact that you've lost the roof doesn't mean that you've lost the handling and the performance. Like any self-respecting Englishman, I should hate the thought of driving an automatic, but Volkswagen's continuously variable transmission is phenomenal, and it horrifies me to admit that I love it. It is so responsive, and coupled with that 1.8 engine, it gives you all the power you need. You don't even notice that it's changing gears. If it weren't for the fact that I could pop it into manual, you could easily trick me into thinking this car doesn't have gears at all. You might be thinking a 1.8 engine isn't that much to get excited by, but this is the hugely popular 1.8 turbo. Now that turbo bumps you up to 161 brake horsepower and a fairly respectable 0 to 60 of 8.6 seconds. Also respectable is the fact that this engine doesn't break your bank. Now if you're buying a car like this, you shouldn't be worrying about anything as common as economy. But still I'm managing to get over 30 miles to the gallon. And having good fuel economy is just one more little thing that makes the driving carefree, and that is what makes driving feel like luxury. And that's the thing about the A4 Cabriolet, the whole car strikes a phenomenal balance of driving pleasure, economy, and even practicality. And it's the striking of that balance that catapults the A4 above all of its rivals. The A4 Cabriolet is, however, not without its flaws. Like similar aged Audis, there are serious gaps in the ergonomics of the design. Because of that Bose head unit, the heated seat switches are wedged down against the bottom of the centre console, and trying to poke your fingers around like you're searching for change down the back of an old sofa isn't exactly the definition of high living. And while that CVT gearbox may be the definition of smoothness, if you want to keep it that way, you're going to have to do an oil change on it every 40,000 miles. Now on top of all of that, we have the issue with the roof. You see, as it's going down, rear passengers stand the chance of facing some mild decapitation, and it might be a problem in every four-door convertible, but you feel like it's one that shouldn't really exist. And when you start to add that to the other little niggles, you could start feeling like the A4 has had its day. But those feelings quickly disperse when you realise it's been 2 decades since this car was launched. It's not only stood the test of time, it's actively defied it. You could sit this next to the younger Audi A5 and still find it stealing a little bit of your heart. As a car that covers all the bases you want it to, the A4 Cabriolet is nothing shy of perfect, and almost 20 years after its release, it is still going strong and isn't aging too badly at all. You honestly feel like in 5 years, you might be looking at a modern classic. Watch this space.